Today we are discussing the another topic, which is about the word, morpheme, root, stem, and base. So in this topic, basically we discuss the difference between the word and morpheme and the other element of morphology, that the root, stem, and base. So they are also the building block in any morphology, means in any language. So they use at the basic units, and they use as the form through which we can form many new words. So, in introduction, the nature of words in linguistics. So, first we understand what is the meaning, or what does mean by the word. So, how we can define the words. So, the concept of word is one of the most fundamental yet complex unit of analysis in linguistics. So, even though we all know that what is word, so word is the very complex in nature, means it is also very simple to define, so everybody knows that what is the word, but it is also very complex how we can analyze the word in linguistics. So although it seems intuitively simple, native speakers often feel that they know what a word is. Defining it scientifically is challenging. So the native speaker means the person or the any individual who use their own language, their mother tongue, so they can easily identify the word in their language. But if you are defining those words scientifically or linguistically, so you face lots of problem. But normally you can understand the word, what is the word in any language. So as Bloomfield defines the word, are the smallest free forms, meaning they are the minimal linguistic unit capable of standing independently in speech or writing. So they are the free forms. They have the independent meaning in speech and writing, and they are minimal linguistic units. So, for example, so if you are dividing any sentence into the different parts, so it can be like clause or phrases. And when you divide the phrase into the other different parts or the subparts, so it can be the word. So normally you can understand the word is a minimal unit of the language. But in speech or writing, there are lots of complex system to define in different languages, because they use different types of case marker, they use different types of free word, different types of morpheme. So some languages the bond morpheme can be the part of the word, or it can sometimes it can be the separate entity which gives a separate meaning. So here in this definition you can understand that word is the free forms, so which is the minimal linguistic unit of the language, and which has the independent meaning in the speaking or writing. But you understand, but you if you see the definition of Ferdinand de Saussure, so he defined the word in very different way. I mean, it is not like the definition of other scholar. He defined the words in terms of linguistic sign. So, because he is the father of modern linguistics, and he give the concept of semiotics. So, in semiotics, he just consider all the word in a language as a sign, because it represents some concept. So, for example, if I speak the word like tree, so for socio, the tree is the sign because it represents some concept. So like it represents the concept of tree. So for socio, it is the linguistic sign. So he said that the word or the orthography, we can say the writing system or the spoken system, when I speak tree or when I write tree, so that is the signifier. And the image or the real entity or the actual reference represented by the word tree, which exists in the real world, is called signifier. So this is the signifier, or this is the signified. So he defined the word in very different ways. So he defined the word in terms of concept or in terms of linguistic science. So he said that any representation or any word we use in any language, if it represents some concept, so it is considered as a word. So like when you say cat, so it means some real object in the world. So like cat means the small domestic feline in the world. So it can be this is the concept which comes our mind. So according to the socio, when you speak some word and the object which comes in your mind, which is the signified and which is the meaning of that word, and the language or the word or the expression you are using, this is the signifier. So that is the definition by Ferdinand de Saussure. But when we see the definition of Hockett, so Hockett said a word is a free form consisting of one or more morpheme, but not including one more than one free form or the one free morpheme. This definition can be criticized by many scholars because Hockett said the word can use only one free morpheme. So, like if I use the word play, so play is the word. So we can add many other mod morpheme like player, players. Okay, and we can use the playing. So all are the word. Play is the word, player is the word, players is the word, playing is the word. So there is only one pre-morpheme. So with the one pre-morpheme, we can build lots of other words which also considered as a word. So this is basically Hockett said a word is a free form consisting of one or more morpheme. So more morpheme means the bond morpheme, but not including more than one free morpheme. There is only one free morpheme, but you can add lots of other bond morpheme to make different words. But when we see the compound words, so like the blackboard, or we can say the White House, White House. So in White House, there are two free morphemes. It is the one word. So this definition can be criticized by many scholars. Another definition we have by John Lyons. So a word is a unit of the lexicon, the smallest unit, which can be referred to independently. So that is okay. Like Leon described the lexical nature of words. So they form the inventory of language and are the reference unit of dictionaries. For example, we can just take the one basic unit from the dictionary and you can create the different words. Like if we have the word like um, play, so it has many play. So it has many representatives like a player, playing, played. So that are the basic lexicon which we can find in the dictionary. So they form the inventory of language and are the reference unit of dictionaries. So words are dictionary entity as the lexical unit that speakers can identify, refer to. So like the English example, run. So we can make the running, runner, runs. So these are the different entities or the separate lexical entries which distinct from the uh, running, runs, and runner. And when you say the runs, so there is other example when you say the word like cats. So in cats, cat is the word, but sa in cat is the word, and cats is also the word. But when you use the sa independently, so it is not the word. So according to this definition, all the bond morpheme are not the word in language. But we can have the another example from Urdu Hindi, where we have some morpheme like ne, ko, se, par. So these are the some bound morphemes. So they have some quality of the word also. So they are not free. They are not like the lexical unit, but they can consider as a word in the language. So in this example, the run we have runs. So when we have the running and we have the runner. So these are the different representation of the run verb. So here the runs is also the word, running is also the word, and runner is also the word. But in runs, sa, if the sa occurs separately, so it is not the word. If ing occur separately, so it is not the word. If the er occurs separately, so it is not the word. But in Hindu Urdu, we have the word like the khana. Khana has a multiple lexical entity. Like khana can be used as a noun, and khana can also be used as a verb. So each can be independent separately in the dictionary or in the lexicon. So in our mind or in the any dictionary, we have both khana as a verb or khana as a noun has separate entry. But suffixes like ne, ko, se, per cannot be a lexical unit. It is a free morpheme, not a word. So in Urdu Hindi, we have the suffixes like ne, ko, se, per. So they are not the lexical. They cannot be lexical unit, even though they are the free morpheme, or we can say the not free morpheme. They are the bond morpheme, but they cannot be considered as a separate word in the language. So this is the definition by the Hawkins. So we are defining the definition of Leon. A word is the smallest segment of speech that can be used alone by speakers like R.H. Robbins. So Robbins defines that a word is the smallest segment of speech that can be used alone by speakers. So, according to this definition, any word in any language, it is used as a separation. It is used as one entity. It used as one form in the response of any sentence. So when you say that, when somebody asking you what do you want for dinner, so you just answer pizza. So pizza is the one word and which use separately. And when somebody asking you uh, when we have the example of Hindi, so somebody asking you, what do you want? And you simply says pani. So pani is the example of the lexical words, or we can say the example of word. So it has the quality to occur separately in the language. So words are the basic unit of morphology consisting of one or more morphemes, but functioning as the building block of sentence. So that means words are the basic unit in the morphology and they can be considered more than one morphemes, but they are functioning as the buildings block of syntax. So that means when you're making the sentence, so you use different words to making the sentence. So these are the building block for the syntax. But uh, they sometimes they are free form like the cat, bat, rat, but sometimes they are also consisting some suffixes, prefixes like unhappy, unhappiness, or sometimes like teacher, teachers, teaching, sometimes teach. So teach is the free form. Teachers is the also the word, but it is using some suffixes. So Spencer integrate the morphological steps and syntactic function in defining the words. So he used how the words are used in language syntactically or how you can define it morphologically. According to the Spencer, words like the unhappiness. So unhappiness can have the quality and how it can be used in the sentence like unhappiness is common. So here it functions as a subject. So it has the two quality. One, it is the separate words, and the other, it how it function in the language, how it function in the sentence. So in the Urdu Hindi example, we have the example of badnami. So badnami is simply a word, but it is can also be used in a sentence like the word. So if you are making the word, making the sentence like इस like उस पर बदनामी लगी उस पर बदनामी in the sentence that उस पर बदनामी लगी है. So बदनामी use here in the sentence. So it has some function in the sentence, but it can also be used singularly or separately. So that is the quality of the any word. It has the two types of functions. One is the morphological unit, so that means it can be used separately. It has some alternation, but it is also function in the sentence. Like in the sentence, it has the function of subject. It has the function of the object. It is not. So word is the unit which is grammatically relevant across different languages, but its identification requires the phonological, morphological, and syntactic criteria combined. So in any language, you can just understand the word by their phonology, morphology, and syntactic criteria. So these are the different identification. So how you can identify the word? So you can only identify the words in any language by their phonology, morphology, and syntax. So here you can understand the explanation. Like the phonology means words are separated by stress pattern. So like the record or record. So record is also used as noun when we have the stress on the first syllable. When you say record, record. So that is the noun. When you say record, so that is the verb. And when we it is also has the morphological criteria word. So like when you say the cats and when you say the cats. So the cats simple is the noun, but the cats is the noun phrase. So it has some morphological criteria also. And in syntax, the words are movable. Like the soup is tasty and I like soup. So here soup is used as subject and here soup is the used as a object. So in syntax, you can understand the position of the word in according to the subject or object. Sometimes it occurs as the subject and sometimes it occurs as the object. So here is the same example we explain in Urdu Hindi. So according to the phonology, so we can distinguish the word minimally by the stress. So like in morphology, we can change from the ladke to ladki. In syntax, like we can understand the position of the word in differently. Like मैं घर जा रहा हूँ और घर में जा रहा हूँ. So here we just change the position of घर. So in first sentence it use after the में, but in second sentence it use initially. So a word is the smallest unit of grammar that can stand alone as a complete utterance, separate by space in writing and by pause in speech. So this is the definition by David Crystal. So he defined that we can understand the word in speaking by some pause. So there is some pause. So by the pause, you can understand the difference between the words. So if I speak the sentence like मैं घर जाता हूँ. So by the pause, you can understand the difference between the words. But in writing, we also understand the different word by the space because every word, if we are writing the sentence, so after every word, we have the space. So like, I love soup. So there is a three words. So after I, we have the space. After love, we have the space. And after soup, we have the space. In Urdu, the same example, we can understand like मैं घर जा रहा हूँ. So मैं घर जा रहा हूँ. We can understand in speech by pause, and we can understand in writing by the space, the separate words. So one of the defining feature of word is that they function as free forms. So Bloomfield defined the morpheme by showing that the morpheme may either be free or bond, but the free morpheme can stand independently as words. So that is the other definition by Bloomfield. And the properties of words, they occur as a free forms, means every words or the free morpheme, they occur separately in the language. So in English, we have the example, what's cooking? So they simply answer the soup. So soup occur freely. So in Urdu, if we have somebody asking, तुम लिख रहे हो, तुम क्या लिख रहे हो? So that means if somebody answer the kitab, so the kitab occurs freely. And there is a syntax, so we can understand the mobility. So Penny is making soup. Soup is delicious. I love soup when it's cold. outside. So word has the different position in the sentence and it has the movable quality. So that is also called the another definition of word. So there is one of characteristics to differentiate between word and morpheme, that is the orthographic unit. So in writing system, a word is often thought of as a sequence of letter or the characteristics separated by space. So it is we have already discussed the difference between the word and morpheme. So in any writing system, we can differentiate the word on the basis of orthography, means by the space. While in speaking, we can differentiate between the word by the pause. So that is the one of the definition of the word. But on the other hand, the morpheme could not be separated by this space, because in one word we have the many morpheme and they occurs together in one word. Like we have the word like teachers. So the teachers has three morphemes. One is teach, another is er and s, but it occur as one word in the in writing system or in spoken also. So it works fairly well in languages like English, but not always in languages like Hindi, Urdu, where the compound, clitics, and postposition can complicate the ideas of what count as in one word. So while we are defining the word by the space in writing system, so it could not work in Hindi Urdu, but it can work in English language. But in Hindi Urdu, we have some postpositions, some critics, and they are just they have the space between the main word. So for example, if I write Ahmad ne, so here ne occur after the Ahmad. So there is a space between they. So ne is not the fully word. So by the space we could not determine that ne is the word. So but the ne is the part of the Ahmad. So it can be it is not the free morpheme, it is the bond morpheme which occurs with the Ahmad, but we have the space between them. So the space cannot be determined or cannot be defined the words in Urdu language in terms of postposition and clitics. So in English, but we have the example like blackboard, ice cream. So there is no space and we have the two morphemes here and one word here. So blackboard is the one word and there are two morphemes. And the ice cream is the one word and they and there is a two morpheme. So by the space we can determine the word but not the morphemes. For example, so we have the example in Hindu Urdu like mujhse, written as two orthographic words like muj and say. But say is not the complete word, is not the free word. It cannot occurs in separate form. So, but linguistically, it is one grammatical unit like a pronoun, postposition, and functioning together. So, do those elements in the grammar of Urdu Hindi, that is the pronoun and postposition. So, they are not the fully words, but the pronoun sometimes occur as a word, but postposition are not fully function as a word. But in the example like rail gali, so written as one word, but it is composed of two lexical part. It means there are two morpheme, two free morpheme, but it is the one word. So in Hindi Urdu, like rail can occur as a simple word and gali can also occur as a simple word, but together rail gali is the one word. So it has the two lexical parts, one is the rail and the other is gali. So morpheme analyze as a linguistic unit. When we analyze the morpheme as a linguistic unit, so it is different from the word. So a morpheme is independent of orthography. It is linguistic unit of meaning or the function that may or may not align with how words are placed in writing. So words are clearly pronounced and clearly has the means they have the space in the writing system, or in a spoken system they have clearly pause between the word. But morpheme do not have this kind of relation. So some morpheme they are joined with the main word or the free morpheme, and sometimes even though they do not have any physical shape like the zero morpheme, but it has some meaning, some function. So we have already give the example of sheep. So sheep is the one word, but the plural sheep is the one word, but it has the two morpheme. One is the sheep and other is pluralness. So that means some morpheme are zero morpheme and they are not visible in the language orthographically. So we cannot count the morpheme on the basis of orthography. So there is an example of cats. So cats has one word and two morphemes like cat and s. Vent has one word. So this vent has one word, but linguistically it represents the two morpheme. One is go and other is past. So we have another example from Urdu Hindi. So we have the example like ladko. So ladko is the word which is a separate word. It occurs in the language. But if you analyze the morpheme in the word ladko, so it has the two morpheme. Or we can say like when we say so we can say like ladka and O. So O is the plural marker. When we use the ladko as the ladko say, like ladko say. So it has the three morpheme. One is the ladka and the other is O and the third one is say. So say is the case marker. So here we can say that the whole things occur as one word in the language, but it has three morphemes. Same with the Benami. So in Benami we have it is the one word and it has the four morpheme. One is the Be, other is Nam, and the third thing is the E. So Be is the prefix in Urdu, Nam is the root word, and E is the suffix. So that is the pattern of morpheme and word in Hindi Urdu.